Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. So, in this episode, I will give you the buyer's guide for the Cube Lightning Aero C68X race road bike. So, as you see, it's a mouthful of bike names for this Cube Lightning Aero road bike. Also, in this episode, as I said, I will give you the buyer's guide, and then at the end, I will tell you should you just go ahead and buy this bike, or should you just, shortlist it or consider it. Cube Bikes, as a famous German bike brand, has always been an excellent value for money. So let's see in this iteration of Cube Lightning Aero, is it still excellent value for money? So first we can answer the question, who is this bike for? So as you see, Cube Lightning Aero is all about aerodynamic performance. So this is a classical example of aerodynamically optimized road bike. So everything from the carbon fiber frame, fork, handlebar stem, seat post, wheels, everything is designed to go as fast as possible and to minimize the drag. So if you are in the market for this type of the bike, so you like to go as fast as possible in a straight line, then definitely you should consider the Cube Lightning Aero road bike. As you see, the retail price of this bike is 5,500 euros or 6,300 British pounds. So definitely, it's not a cheap bike. It's on the side of the eye-watering prices, as I would say. So definitely we need to dive into the specifications and really see what are you getting for your hard-earned money. So okay, first thing first, we can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. So the frame is the Cube's C68X carbon fiber frame with the fully internally routed cables and the flat mount disc brakes and of course a press fit bottom bracket. So this C68X is the highest level of carbon fiber that Cube can make. And also, I still believe that the warranty on carbon fiber frames from Cube is 3 years, unless they changed it recently, which I still consider one of the lowest warranties in the industry. So definitely I would like to see Cube increasing their warranty to at least, I would call it, 5 years. Also speaking about the fork, it is again a carbon fiber C68X carbon fiber fork, internally routed cable, flat mount disc brakes, and of course 12mm through axles, both front and the back. Cube is also claiming that this frame has a weight of 980 grams, and I believe that this is probably for the size 54 or 56 size. So considering that this is, a heavily aerodynamically optimized frame, I mean this frame weight is pretty impressive in my mind, so no problems here. And definitely when you look at this highest level of the carbon fiber frame and fork, I definitely wouldn't expect any, problems coming from the Cube. Okay, now let's look at the drivetrain of this bike. So the shifter's front mech and rear mech, you will get a superb Shimano Ultegra Di2 electronic group set. So this is the 12-speed electronic group set from Shimano, and with the Shimano's, wireless group sets, shifters and the front mech are communicating wirelessly, and then you have a cable connection between the rear mech and the front mech. When you look at the braking system on the bike, again, Shimano's Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes, so no cutting corners here, 160mm braking rotors front and the back, and as I see, these are the Shimano's Ultegra level braking rotors, which is absolutely excellent. And again, in the future, when you need to replace the braking rotors, I would always advise you to stick with, in this case, Shimano Ultegra, Shimano Dura-Ace braking rotors, or you can use the braking rotors from the Shimano's mountain bike world. Now when you look at the crankset and the cassette, crankset is the Shimano's Ultegra crankset, 5236, and this crankset comes with the power meter. So this is the Shimano's power meter. Well, you know my opinion about Shimano's power meters, and you have probably heard a lot of stories online that they are, not so precise as they are claiming to be. So, take this with a with a grain of salt, how would I say, about the preciseness of these Shimano's power meters. I wish that they have maybe used the 4i power meter here, but it is what it is. You will get a power meter, and then you gotta discuss a bit of how precise these things are. Cassette, Shimano's Ultegra cassette 1134. So when you see the gearing ratio 1134 and 5236, I mean, definitely it is geared towards going as fast as possible in a straight line. But again, this lowest gear of 34, 36 will definitely give you, a nice combination of climbing any steep mountains. Chain here, they are using the Shimano's M8100 chain from the mountain bike world, 12-speed chain, totally fine, and definitely in the future you can use any 12-speed compatible chain with the Shimano's group set. There's no problems there. Now let's look at the cockpit of this bike, because this is one of those things that you definitely need to be aware of. So when it comes to the handlebar and the stem, of course, this is a carbon fiber one-piece handlebar and the stem. So everything is aerodynamically optimized and everything is integrated. And also, all the cables are running, through the handlebar and the stem. So I truly hope you have a very good local mechanic, because if you ever need to replace anything on this handlebar stem, or you need to, do anything with your hydraulic disc brakes, then definitely it's going to be a pain, where, and you'll probably have to be a very good friend with your local mechanic to sort it out. As I see here, they are also giving you a kind of mount for, is it Garmin or Wahoo, onboard computer interface, so this is a very nice thing. And as I said, just because everything is aerodynamically optimized, this is a one-piece handlebar and the stem. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of these one-piece handlebars and the stem, but you gotta be aware of it, that this is definitely going to require some, pro mechanic to sort it out if anything needs replacing, or you need some fine tuning on the position on the bike. Now let's talk about on the wheels of this bike, because this is definitely an excellent addition to this bike. So wheelset is the Newman Advanced SLR wheelset. And this Newman wheelset is the in-house brand of Cube, and specifically the front wheel is 50 millimeters rim height, and then at the back you have a 65 millimeters rim height. So these wheels are, of course, carbon fiber wheelset, 21 spokes at the front, 24 spokes at the back. Total weight of this wheelset in this configuration is probably going to be around 1,500 grams. And the hubs on this wheel set, as I see, some kind of fade hubs, 36 tooth engagement, which is absolutely excellent, and I'm guessing with some kind of sealed cartridge bearings on these hubs. Inner width of these rims is not so spectacular, only 18 millimeters, of course 12 millimeter two axles front and the back, and as I said, a very nice carbon fiber wheelset from Newman. And if you would buy this wheelset on the open market, you would pay 840 euros for the rear wheel and 740 euros for the front wheel. So all in, I'm glad that Cube is including this carbon fiber wheelset from Newman. Again, considering the retail price of this bike, it's a great addition. Tires on this wheelset are from Schwalbe Pro 1 tire. Tubeless ready tire. I don't think that this will be tubeless set up from the factory, so you will probably need to get your own, tubeless valves, tubeless tapes, and the tubeless sealant. And these tires are 28 millimeter tires front and the back. So this is excellent in my opinion, because there's a lot of air volume in this tire, and it's going to make your ride a bit smoother. And definitely in the future, I would suggest you to use these, 28 millimeter tires. It doesn't matter from which of the manufacturers, any, manufacturer that you like, the tires that you like. Some of the smaller finishing kit on the bike, for example, the seat post, the Cube's carbon fiber C68X carbon fiber seat post, aerodynamically optimized, and also the saddle is, I'm guessing, some of their in-house brand Natural Fit SLT with the carbon rails. So again, very nice addition here, considering the retail price of this bike. And I'm also glad that the Cube gives the total weight of this bike, excluding the pedals and the bottle cages. So this is 7.8 kilograms for the whole bike. And again, I think this is probably for some kind of size 56, I hope, So 7.8 kilograms, totally fine. And if you add the pedals on top of it, probably we are speaking about 8.1 kilograms ready to ride bike. When you consider it's a fully aerodynamically optimized bike with deep dish wheels, then definitely, this weight about 8 kilograms, 8.1 kilograms is totally fine in my book. So what is my advice to you if you are in the market for the heavily aerodynamically optimized road bike? So should you just go ahead and buy this bike, or should you just shortlist this bike? Well, I believe that with this price of 5,500 euros retail price, it's a very competitive package from Cube, and you should definitely shortlist this bike, because still Cube is one of those rare brands out there that is offering a very good value for money. Probably the only competitor to this bike is going to be some kind of offering from Canyon. So definitely feel free to have a look at some of my videos about Canyon bikes. But as it is now, definitely shortlist this bike. And if you have the opportunity, go ride it and test it, and then, make a final decision. So this is going to be the everything I wanted to tell you about this bike in this episode. I hope you like what I'm doing. And if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking. And as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers.